take too long to do this. And time to hit continue. Right of turnabout. But who's turnabout? Shh. Shit. May 11, 9:40 a.m. High Court of Khurain. I still hate that it's said like Khurain instead of Khurain, because that's how it looks. Okay, relax. Accused lobby. Wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday, but if I can figure out Lady Skiva's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe. Today well... Don't look so down, Maya. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. You would do well to cease this insanity while you can. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle of the sort that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, you too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waited to be found. The truth, you say? Then it seems you have chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial. You said that the very last trial. Nick, I'm going to prove your innocence, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the Plum Punisher, warrior of Near Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right! Maybe a defendant this time. But I'll be by your side like always, Nick. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on lawyers. I'll need all the help I can get. Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. May 11, High Court of Khurain. The one court is now in session. All rise. The trial of Maya Fey begin. Defense is ready, Your Majesty. Ah, this guy again. True. Huh? Quiet. Can you see Prosecutor Satmahi is absorbed in silent prayer? Great. The trial barely started and the judge is already mad at me. It's pretty devout for a prosecutor. Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty? In addition to being the accused, she's also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Well then... Criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, plus, I already show I go for the truth. I didn't make any dirty trick. Well, bad-mouthing lawyers seems to be a custom of sorts here in Khurain. I must say, I am surprised to see you're still here in Khurain, Mr. Wright. Even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why would you willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I am a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Such foolishness, Dante! No, such foolishness. Oh, Professor Satmahi, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. But first I promise you both this. You will cast your wicked souls into the fire of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Splendid, I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Sadmahi. Please save the victim's souls, Prosecutor Sadmahi. Punish the wicked lawyer who dares to stop these last rites. I think I'll pass on that whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo told me about you. So it was you who insisted that putrid lawyery guile within him. Putrid what? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. I shall send you on ahead so that he will be not lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up. Nervous, Maya? A little. Okay, sorry, I have to keep this for scientific reasons. Making a mess here. It's a mess around here. Okay, turn direction for continue. A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. Too bad in the defendant. Don't worry. We haven't lost a case together yet. They're right. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmahi, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of her heinous crime was High Priest Tarustin. He was conducting a purification rite when he was brutally slain. The cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? The cause of death was a blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the Warbat dagger which was used in the rite. However, the weapon has yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. Sacred relic used as a tool of murder? The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Skira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Grainism. During the rite, the victim and the accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. I must say that does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. Inner sanctum diagram added to the court record. I turn into a telepromoter. Already. No, I'm not going to do that. In Grainism, slaying a priest is seem most grave and dreadful. Such meta-faced souls shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell. The hell of tickling. No! That sounds weird! There she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years. And then? No, that's a terrible fate indeed. Will the defense care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. Don't suggest ideas. They may add a sixth one. I don't remember killing anyone. I don't have that dagger or anything like it. So my client stated she has no memory of the event as described by the prosecution. And more importantly, she had no motive to kill the High Priest in the first place. Is it going to do the weird hand thing? No. It's going to reveal a motive. I thought you might say that. Nevertheless, the meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made by her benevolence, Raifa Padma Crane's insight. So it is, and so it shall be. Divination since reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. Bailiff, please show there in the royal priestess. This Princess Raifa. Oh, how beautiful her benevolence looks again today. Glory to the Holy Mother for this blessed day! As people... Sorry? As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Khura'in, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. What the hell is an abettor? Isn't an abettor like a kind of tree? Yeah, I just made that pun. How is it fucking written? It's so weird. Abettor. Ah, okay. Now I know. Well, he who helps the criminal. It's weird to say it that way. They shall not escape on their freedom expressed today. What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back at the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favor. Or Dihara Khura'in! Ah, those are nice moments to drink some water. She sure looks pleased with herself. Especially for someone who didn't know what Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, Barbhead? No, nothing, Your Benevolence. Well then, Your Benevolence, Divination Seasons, if you please. Sorry, Divination Sins. Very well. Nina, my rope. I hope the dance doesn't happen again. Like full on. Because it's going to be annoying to have to...
Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name.
Well, seance, sorry, not scenes. It's so weird. I don't know what the hell that word is.
And our ears be unstopped.
Oh. Who wins? An unstoppable ear or an unmovable sound?
So that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I was scared that they were like going to talk out more. Oh, thank you! Wait. What button do I use for start? Fuck, I don't know! Give me a second. M? Okay, I guess. What button do you use to, like, pause the game? Ah, I use M! Okay. She's still there. Oh, now to the moment he's going to be killed. The moment he isn't looking at Maya. Wind. That doesn't say shit, to be honest. The victim's Mitama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Great, another clearly incriminating sense vision. Could not be any clearer of all defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim. But why would she do that? Like, if it was like, okay, I have to disguise myself since there's a lot of people, then okay, I'd be like, fine. And she doesn't have to know about the divination sense. But even then, why those exact clothes? Why don't like just disappear? Whatever. Or not like, I don't know, throw the knife when he's reading, so there's nothing to see. Whatever. I already said this. Oh, how very terrible it must have been. Fury of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light, the scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror of what he must have felt. The facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But that wasn't me. Do something, Nick. I'm working on it. That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite. Come to think of it, the rite's guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. The transformation rite. The high priest reads scripture while a priestess donned the robes of Lady Kira. Rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger. Rite of fire. Priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite detects that the high priest stands in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbhead, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. So you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again. Intend to find a fault with her benevolence insights yet again? It would seem lawyers are Polunka's creatures indeed. Look at the Polunka! 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 Oh, pardon, Polkunen. I guess idiot. Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, Barbhead. Sorry, I had to yawn for some reason. Are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. Insight. Refresh insight. It commences the purification rite by going to the lantern and reading the sutra. As the first passed the transformation rite, and that he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused approaching footstep and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. His life blood spilled over, his vision dimmed, till finally he passed out from our world. And that is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me. Sudden rose in his skin over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get the chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truth revealed by her royal priestess' divine insight. Oh, did you end up finding contradictions last time? These final moments include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appear in the pool of souls? Look like to me like the bigger word in. It looked like to me the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me too. Sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Raifa's insight the last time. So there could be a contradiction between what about me felt and her insights, huh? You got it, and I'm going to find them this time too. Should I check how to point out contradictions in Raifa? No! We already know how to do this! It's been just one case! Nah, I remember how it works. Still, situations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Albite trial. Which case, I better keep an eye on the changes in the intensity too. Okay, time to point out the sensation that contradict the insight. I think I have one in mind. Okay. Hmm. 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 Oh! Okay, I get it, I get it. It's in this last part. Hey, let me! Thank you. No, it's not letting me. Okay, it's with the footsteps which don't get any, like, stronger. I like how it spins. No. The victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps, but did he really? What nonsense is this? It is not abundantly clear. No, it's not, because is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, Barbhead. The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder. They're not getting any louder. Why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense victim's melt. The scent grows as stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footstep would have grown louder as the scent of the... Oh, god damn it! I hate the word scent. It makes me dissent. The scent of her incense grew stronger. Why, that makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, your benevolence? Well, there must be a reason. Oh, here it comes. These are, as they say, even a pretty worm of the lawyer will turn. What does that even mean? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discuss discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your benevolence? Perhaps you must listen more carefully to about me, Mitamas. Listen more carefully? What's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. We shall try to refine the sensation. Refine the sensation? I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with Amitama. I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before? Refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Please don't do the dance again. I can skip it. Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Okay, let's see. Bells! Footsteps change into bells? What could this mean? Bells? But the only bells at the scene of the crime were... And the jingly must have come from about the invisible bells. I mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the high priest's own footsteps. And that means... the footsteps belong to the victim himself, means that the victim was the victim who was moving, not the accused. The victim was the one who went running towards the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what her benevolence insight would have us believe. Jesus. Ni. But why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger, so he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. I want to overturn this place. Still your voices. This is nothing but a theory and a poor one at that. Be not less by his lawyer obvious postulations. Well, his insolence is inexcusable. I would ask that you calm yourself, Your Benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Satmahi? Even if it was about him who moved, it doesn't negate the accused crime. What do you mean? Oh, he still got stabbed, dumbass! Oh, Phoenix right, like Phoenix is wrong, am I right? The accused was likely waiting for the high priest to approach. Up! And as he neared her, she plunged the dagger into him. This is as simple as that. Oh, right. It really doesn't change much, does it? Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well. Right, and that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer? That contradiction you conjure up has come to naught. Once my my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. See, the fact that it was about me who moved changes nothing. Oh, come on, Phoenix, you gotta keep your cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after the Princess refined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on the sensation that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. Maybe the wind thing changed because there weren't that many things. Is he like trembling? Wind. Okay, probably something with the... Still not broken afterwards. The broken lantern. Maybe that? Maybe the lantern wasn't broken? Hmm. Oh! Nah, this hasn't changed that much. But the broken lantern thing, that's the weird part. Okay, let's see how it is in the beginning. Hmm. It is okay. Then he gets this up. There's nothing different here. Maybe like a little trembling, but I guess that's me. I'm going to save state because I'm a coward and I need help. Do not fuck up this thing. Alright? Nope. Fuck, I'm lost then. Fuck. Pause to one, then to the other. Maybe I have to see a bit of the right. What's with the wind? Should something be not okay with the wind? This is a recurrent sensation sound. Suddenly, what's to accuse? By the broken. Ahaha! If it was by the broken lantern, then he shouldn't have heard water. I'm blind because I didn't see that before, even though I given it a couple times. Okay, hold it! Although we know the verification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be. That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and nobody in me would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of belching is to the sound of water at one point. What's this? Simple, the victim must have stepped into some water. Huh? Yes, and the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring and the accused stood right in front of him. But we know now that the victim then moved into the spring. Polunka! pardon, Polkunka. That is absurd. This means the accused's location differs from what her benevolence insight indicates. Look, Scooby! What do you propose the accused do when she don't Lady Kira's ropes? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya was standing here. I mean, not to say, but Maya probably is in the right place. Okay, let me then charge. Maybe we are talking, like, thinking wrong which part of the right we are on. Till this moment, we've all just assumed that both me and Miss Faye were standing where were supposed to be, showing these rights guides. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that's not how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. No, the problem is the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water. But if this is true, the positions would have been completely reversed. What is going on here, Miss Faye? Were you really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but I don't remember anything about the rite. The High Priest would have never made such an obvious blunder during a rite. What on earth? Is that even possible? Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't. Let us say that the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what? This completely reverses their position is what? That's their positions different from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. The lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling on to the first insignificant contradiction you can master. Sounds like Princess Rifa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Oh my, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? I will now amend my insights to account for this new truth. Here's the accused and try to fight off her by the pool and off the poolside lantern. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright? Nick! Maestri, this lawyer may have not raised a trivial objection, but her benevolence insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yes, it would seem. Wait a second, there is another contradiction. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. But yeah, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing. And now that the place where I was standing has changed, who knows? It may cause a new discrepancy with her Princess Rifa insights. That's right, we know now that Maya was standing in the spring. Major change like that could have very well produced a contradiction. Should take another look at the inner sanctum there in the court records and confirm where Maya and about him he was standing. Then focus on finding any discrepancies between their position and the insight. I think I have an idea. Let's see this anagram. No, sorry, diagram was here, but the wind shouldn't have changed where this was. Only with this one. But yet, it goes to this one. Then this one. Then that's it, I think. Meant to say, but I'm guessing this. The side itself, if not wind.
Objection!
Nope. Has to be something of that kind.
Objection!
No. But the air is moving the lantern light. Right? There's this one. This one. Yeah. This maybe? Need to play it till the end. I'm not so sure about this one, but what I'm thinking is, if he died on the other side, then he would have dropped dead, well, not on that side, but to the complete opposite. I'm guessing not this exact thing. Hmm. Maybe selecting this part of the site,
Objection!
playing nothing different. This is what I did before! Okay, maybe I didn't sign the right place. Sorry about that. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction. You did? I doubt it's another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a good look at the victims of Take a good look at what the victims saw. It might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There is nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind has steered. No, that's where you're wrong, kiddo. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. But those lanterns are completely fine. Fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. Two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. Royal Guard, no. So neither lantern flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. This is pretty technique. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but very well. I shall refine the visions and reveal the truth for all to see. Couldn't you have done that from the beginning? Make it as refined as possible? Oh, bless me, Tama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern here. There. Huh? That lantern doesn't have a wing guard on it? And rightly so. For the wing guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within the rite of fire. Therefore, the rite is nothing but... Oh, there's nothing out about the flickering flame. Pardon, miss. But weren't we all, like, in the transformation rite? And the fire one, that's another one in the middle. Wouldn't you know? What? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, defense. We could not risk them being extinguished even during an investigation. That would never fly back home. Well, Barhead, are you done quibbling? If so, then it's time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Ugh. Nick! Don't worry, Maya. I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing the lady's girl's robes and standing in the spring. The high priest is thought to have been moving towards her. So I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusations against Maya. I say Maya really weird when talking English. Usually I say Maya, but I sound like Maya. Let's see. He does this. No sound. Wind. It's lagging. Swatter. Pain. Okay, now we see Maya perfectly here. See this? Wait, that's the broken one. But then it changes to the fixed one? What? Then he's turning around with the paper in front of him. No. Okay, let's see this properly now. First, the one on the left is completely fine. Then this one is broken, right? Yeah, that's definitely broken. I need to save this. But I'm sure this is the contradiction. What does this possibly mean? Lantern clearly contradicts the insight. I think that means the guy just spin round like a record, baby, round. This contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? 1 minute you shout and the next you fall silent. Perhaps it is like the bellow of the one who is spiraling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Satmahi? Dots. God damn it, they're using a lot of dots. Don't get coughing now, Phoenix. If this overturns the entire case you've built so far, the only way to keep moving is forward. Because that's where we'll find the truth. After that, we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of those lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what about Immi saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss May is broken. The lantern behind Lady Skira, however, is still intact. In short, we are seeing two different lanterns in this seance visions. How could this be? Even if it were so, how could that contradict my insight? Well, I think he just turned around. It's not the case turning around, it's him. Haha, I'm funny. Let me start by saying the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the broken lantern, we can tell about Immi and Maya's position, where the accused and the victim were standing. But did you not just finish asserting that the accused was standing somewhere else? I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here. To the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing. I must say, if the defense keeps changing its assertion in such a capricious manner, its credibility may come into question. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Show us where you believe the accused was actually standing. Based on the location of the broken ladder, where was Maya really standing? Yeah, around here. Right? I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. We know the victim has stepped into the spring. That means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which has only now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to the custom. Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No. This is where things take a different turn. And I mean that literally. Hey! The victim had to have been moving forward to the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned again towards the accused. What? Do you mean that to say that the victim was turned around during the rite? Such an image appears nowhere in the sense vision. Actually, it does appear. Just no one noticed it until now. No one noticed? How could have no one noticed something so big? There was a moment where the scripture of the victim was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was in fact turning around in that moment. If it is as the defense asserts, then her benevolence insight no longer makes sense. How do you intend to explain that? I don't need to explain anything, because it's just you said, Prosecutor Satmahi. Her benevolence insight don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. Such insolence. Huge error, you say? To explain. Huge error is the order of the rights. I don't think that's it. Crime scene, the number of people there. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a sutra when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. I realized no. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. And that's when he was stabbed. This cannot be. Oh, but it can, and it is. The inside stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that's the real truth behind this testimony of the dead. Po Kunka! Paul Kunka! Fuck's a weird word, okay? Don't judge me. Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime? Have I misunderstood the voice of Mitama yet again? This cannot be! At this rate, you're going to become a Mitama yourself. That was a close one. I managed to divine the true meaning behind the sense vision somehow. Should add these new facts to the court record. The Sanctum diagram updated in the court record. Yet again! The 5th time! Please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn the brass accusations of this faithless, project-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. No. She seems not okay. Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sabmahi? My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time I have learned to perform last rites for souls in trials like in assassins. Yes, of course. Forgive my ludicrous inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. We'll show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. Yes, he really does think highly of him and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. Then again, he is an international prosecutor who solved tough cases around the world. Time to hunker down, huh? Now then, let's continue with today's proceedings. Would the defense please tell us who the third-party dressed as Lady Kira was? Your new claim has negated the insights of the royal princess, so I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yes, of course. This third party must have really wanted to kill the High Priest. Might be able to identify who it was if I had evidence of the murderous intent. I mean, I have something. Well, we're waiting, Mr. Wright. The evidence that can reveal the identity of the third party is this. The card, I'm guessing. I'm not even going to save. 3 days before the purification rite, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual. He did it? Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the victim, the High Priest. The letter said, do not perform the rite. But the rite went on a schedule. I believe that's why the High Priest was murdered. Who did you suppose in that letter? A person with something to hide. The rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. What? Peace! I don't understand. I'd heard of Lady Kira that has been in the news of late only hunted rebels. So why would she have killed the High Priest? Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it that way, or this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? The High Priest? He couldn't possibly have been a rebel! The High Priest? A devout follower of Cryanism, a rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Well, do you? I too found it hard to believe at first. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible. The third party was the rebel hunting Lady Kira. The High Priest was a rebel. You mockery of Cryanism! No. Of the kingdom of Khurain itself knows no bounds. Oops! That shameless Spelunkan lawyer is to make a mockery of our religion! So faithful Coronist, I take issue with these claims, and I am loath to admit them into today's proceedings. I don't like where this is going. Defense claims serve at vile blasphemy tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya? Aborimir was a distinguished monk and very respected too, so yeah. Please don't let this turn into an international incident. Oh, but Phoenix it is, and already! But fear not, good people of crime. The rantings of this put-brained lawyer who seeks to solve the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. I guess it's what's going to say that thing. The prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged. But the victim was stabbed in the abdomen. How is that possible when he had his back turned towards his face? I mean, you could still pull behind him with a knife and in the abdomen. Of course, it would be easier to stab the back, but if you want to, for example, grab him by the neck, for example, and stab him, and you can make sure you kill him better that way, then sure. Someone else must have killed him. Are you sure about that? Yeah, that's what the seasons tell. You may have invalidated the seasons, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial as yet is still in my hands. How can he be so confident? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. I shall prove that by calling my new witness to the stand. An eyewitness who will deliver a definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts. An eyewitness? Very well, let us call this eyewitness to the stand. Oh, this guy. Yeah, the one with memory problems. Yeah, real trustworthy. Fucking old Frisk. It's him again. Well, now he has to be the shaggiest. No. Witness I have ever laid eyes upon. Please state your name and occupation. Oh, yeah, no. Sorry. So I put like a Russian accent with him. You know. That's so and so. Whatchamacallit? Hey, this guy's a rebel. Oh, now I can Anonymous DBD. At least that's what they've been calling me. Anonymous to be determined. I get it now. DVD wasn't to be determined. Can't you just tell us your real name? Witness has suffered a blow to the head, rendering him amnesiac. Therefore, I name him Anonymous in my report, but he thinks DVD is part of the name.
Objection!
You're letting an amnesiac testify? Have no fear, I have already questioned him at length. While it is true he has subtly forgotten his name and past, his memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact. Considering the dearth of information, any new knowledge may be of help. Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Immus, please tell us what you saw. Clink, clink, clink. No. Witness testimony. Okay, let's see. Night of the murder. At night, I was up at the top of Mount Pony Pony, the mountain next to the inner sanctum. I have crowds, so I climb up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spy at the inner sanctum. That was when I saw the accused stab the high priest with a dagger. There's no way you saw me stab the victim with a dagger. I swear I don't know what he's talking about. Or I don't remember at any rate. Mount Pony Pony. Beautiful mountain that is also known as the Little Sanctum. That's like 12 meters. Plus, there's like a whole fucking blanket. We're talking about that small mountain from the poster. Mr. Imus, I was wondering, what gonna do for you? Wait. He said like, what can I do ya for? Oh my! Your sanctum lies at a high elevation where clouds and fog cannot obstruct the view. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountain top next to it? Good point. Thank you. Macy raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Imus, the day of the ride there wasn't a cloud in the sky. A perfect view. If you don't believe me, check the weather forecast in the paper that day. Nick, don't we have the newspaper for that day? Yeah, let's take a look. Forecast the area around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies, doesn't it? Does it calm, clear skies, doesn't it? One higher that will see a call from move in overnights. That could be useful. They told us though. Yeah, thank you. Well, it would appear the witness has offered testimony worth hearing. Mr. Amos, I do have a question for you. Isn't he already questioning the witness? Well, that's what I'm here for, right? Shoot! How was the accused holding the dagger? Was she holding it underhanded in its blade portrayed from the bottom of her hand? Yup, I believe she was. It's called reverse grip. Ah, I thought as much. Please right there. What bearing does that have on this case? Because if it was coming from behind with a knife, then on the abdomen, still could have used it to stab at the back. I've played enough Team Fortress to know that's a possibility. Okay, let's continue. Let's see, what do you have to say for yourself? Since your interruption, you put to the head lawyer. Do you not see the significance of how the blade was held? Yes, I'm seeing it, but Felix doesn't. Why don't you enlighten me? Oh, enlightened one. If I knew you were a fool, I can already picture you in your next life. Next life? After your soul withers for centuries in the pits of hell, you shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin with the barb limited to your posterior. You shall live a short, inconsequential life, live to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. That was a bit excessive. I simply asked what the dagger grip had to do with the case. Now pay attention how the accused held the dagger is vital importance. With such information we can infer exactly what action she took. You were saying that the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yes. Such, the accused dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And plunged the dagger deep into his abdomen using a reverse grip. What? Thus, Mr. Amos' testimony clears up any doubts that might remain. It coincides with her benevolence insight as well. It's a disaster. Thought I'd blown those insights out of the water, but now they're back to haunt me. Now then, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Yes, I may. Let's see, the night of the murder. The knife of the murder.
Hold it!
Do you really see what? Do you really see what you say you did? I just saying I'm lying about this. Well, I'm not. I'm etched permanently in this old noggin. But I didn't do what you said I did. I didn't even get a chance to touch that on the day of the rite. But I know that. All I know is what I do. Never seen any. I never even seen you before in my life. What possible reason could I have to lie? Because you could be the murderer. Expect to be not to be any witnesses way up there. But I don't remember doing all that. I know, I have a feeling the witness is lying. Has to be an inconsistency somewhere in his testimony. I should take another look in the court records. Probably the seeing part. The curtain. This was shut down in the right. That's it!
Objection!
No! Statement inconsistent with this piece of evidence. There you go, I'll move on. Abandon this folly. You know very well your evidence proves nothing. Nice try, but you can't make me give up. I'm going to prove I'm right. You can point your finger as much as you want, but you're simply wasting your time. It's a pitiful sight to see a lawyer who doesn't know what his beat. I just need to hang there a little longer. I'm going to save, and now it's in here, right? Was shut down in the right, and this is talking about the right.
Objection!
There we go. Your Majesty, I had my doubts about this bushy bearded witness, but now I know we can't trust him. What you ain't just judging me solely on my bodacious beard, are you? Not at all, Mr. Amos. It's much more than your sketchy appearance, it's your sketchy testimony. It's testimony, you say? Yes, I recall how the inner sanctum was that day. Specifically, that it was completely enclosed by the ritual curtain. Oh, yes, I believe you're right. The curtain would have been completely blocked with the witness view from Mount Pony Pony. Therefore, he couldn't possibly have seen the murder happen. What? What? No, Mr. Amos, have you been knowingly making this false statement to this court? Ay, you got me! This will lower his voice. Didn't actually see the accuser herself. Didn't actually see the accuser herself? What's that supposed to mean? Let me set the record straight, I beg ya. Another testimony. What I really saw. Right? The night of the murdered. I meant... So the shadowy silhouettes projected against the ritual curtain. Figures were created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. It was a shadow, but I could tell it was the accuser was gripping that dagger. That's so little information, really. Shadows? That's what you saw? That's right. I could see what was going on by the shadow projected onto the ritual curtain. In the future, Mr. Amos, I would rather you offer up accurate testimony from the start. Forgive me, my main man, Mr. Magistri. Chuck it up to my fuzzy memory. Though he saw but shadows, it's still valuable testimony. You have to be kidding me. What are we going to do now, Nick? All I can think of is to look for inconsistency between the actual right and what Mr. Amos says he saw. Then the defense may cross-examine the witness once more. I think in the right thing, if I can see my court records, I think it should be like, so shadowy silhouette spread against the ritual curtain. It was created by the full moon on that clear and still night. Okay, let's think of the moon. The moon in the right, if I'm guessing right by this thing, has to be on top of it. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, yeah, the full moon has to be like on top, right? Not to the side. And even if it was, I mean, where would the moon have to be to project the shadows? he's here, the moon should be here. And if we're going over this, then the shadows should have been casted the other way. But I think the moon has to be like directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. That means on the top. If it is at the top, then yes, this is wrong.
Objection!
There we go, that was fast. You saw the silhouettes projected by the moonlight? Sorry, but that's just not possible. What do you mean? Was it not possible that area was totally impossible? Or how it's not possible that it was totally possible? That's impossible! I think I'm going to need a logical translation on that. Let's take a look at this right guide, shall we, Mr. Imus? The ride is held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Doot. So if the moon was shining from the west, any shadows would have been casted eastward. But Mr. Imus was standing on the west of the inner sanctum on Mount Pony Pony. Oh, holy mother! That sounded too weird. Oh, holy mother! That's right, our witness here couldn't have seen any shadowy figures on that curtain. No way! Perhaps it was the sacred flames of the lantern with that cast the shadow he saw. I'm afraid not. I inspected them during my investigation, but the flames were too small to cast the distinct figure Mr. Amos claims to have seen. But I did see those silhouettes, really! But how could he, Nick? Maybe he was someplace where they were visible. Wait, don't tell me. Your Majesty, Mr. Amos really did see those shadows. If Mr. Amos really did see those shadows, it brings a brand new fact to light. And that would be? The brand new fact that comes to life if Mr. Amos really did see those shadows was somewhere else. Wasn't where he claimed to be at the time of the murder. Oh, then where did you propose the witness was? Some place where he could have seen the shadowy figures naturally. Wait, you mean? None of the mountains to the east of the inner sanctum are close enough for a good view. It leaves only one place he could have seen clearly the shadows from. And where that might be? This is where the Mr. Amos was at the time of the murder. The inner sanctum, the house of the priest, of course. That's clearly like the bad option in a test. Well, type test exam. Mr. Amos was at the inner sanctum, just outside the curtain on the east side. That's the only place from which he could have seen the shadowy figures. What? Really? Wow, I didn't even think of that. But wasn't the inner sanctum off limits to all but the victim and the accused? And the third party who was there, you mean? I get the feeling that's a subject Prosecutor Sandman he would rather not touch right now. Dots! I'm starting to hate so many dots. What do you mean? That's right, this witness was at the scene of the crime, which means he is the mysterious third party we saw during the divination seasons. He could have been the one who dressed as Lady Kira and killed the High Priest. Woogie! What? No one but the two participants were allowed anywhere near the inner sanctum, and the only way up there are the stairs that start at the place of devotion. So tell me, how did you propose the witness enter that sacred space? No, I must haven't thought of that. I hadn't thought that far ahead. Well, I have an idea. What if the guy used this thing as either I think this is a parachute that the guy used to get there. I think this guy may be the... what do you say? Oh fuck, I hate my brain, but still. I think this guy may very well be the crime guy, the criminal. Bill Nye the crime guy, no. This guy. And he's hiding his identity. Sanctum has sheer cliffs on three sides and steep towering rocks face on the other. No one could have made it there by climbing the faces of those cliffs, but still, that would make his, like, what do you say? It, either this testimony is complete bullshit and we are back to before, or he was actually there. This man is to speak the truth. To say Mr. Imus was such an inaccessible location is but a bit to tarnish his credibility. Is that not right? Right, I wasn't at the inner sanctum, no sir, I know how. I'm at least pretty sure I wasn't. Then what about those silhouettes you claim to have seen? I'm starting to see I mean imagine these things. What? This is insane! I knew we wouldn't trust that lawyer. He's trying to frame the witness. I mean, he looks pretty suspicious. Not only in looks, I say, but in his testimony. Please, I say. This is impossible. Let's second show how he got into the inner sanctum. It looks like I'm trying to slander Mr. Imus. I believe in you, Nick. Rah, sis bomba! Fight, finish right! Just look at the accused. Does he no shame? What's your problem, lady? Phoenix Wright is very trustworthy. I'll have you know. She got some nerve wracking. I'll bet the lawyer poisoned her mind. Please, Maya, you're only making it worse. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's probably best to keep it to yourself for now. Who applies the difference to think carefully before making any sudden outburst? Yes, Your Majesty. I wasn't the bad guy before, and definitely am now. Now, Mr. Imus, I would like you to think back carefully before you testify about where you were that night. It's going to be like the night of the murder, but amend, or re-amend. Wasn't at the inner sanctum. What's everything in the inner sanctum, I tell you? Not much I'm sure of, even with a body memory. Besides, it would have been impossible to get that there in the first place. Boy, your lawyers are sure scary. I'm trying to make like a Russian accent, but I think I'm failing completely at it. I guess it might have been impossible for him to get to the inner sanctum like he claims, but how will you assist in trying to frame this innocent witness? Yeah, I'd like to see you explain how he got up there. It's alright. It is no time to end this cross-examination. Moment of desperation leads to 100 million years of torment. It means that for each moment a sinner spends struggling to deny their sins, 100 million years of torment are added to their time in hell. Quran is the strictest religion ever. And just so you know, it already accrued 200 million extra years. Plus the 500 million years started with, that's 700 million years. Sure, what's another 200 million, give or take? It's a big deal to me. Can't keep saying that the winner was there at the inner sanctum. If I can't prove it, then the problem is how I'm going to do that. Was at the inner sanctum? Was never the inner sanctum, I told you. No, I'm not going to read that again. With my fussy mind. In the first place. I think it's probably. Where is it? I'm missing it with my eyes. I'm going to save, but I think it's this. I save because I'm a coward, just in case someone asks.
Objection!
See? Cowardice pays off. Be a coward, please. I mean, me when you need to, but still. Let's press this guy to see if I can get anything. Seems like a short testimony. Are you sure you weren't there? I'm sure of it that you did. All I'm sure of is that you're deeply skeptical. That you, Mr. Prosecutor, are all lawyers always like this? No, certainly. I always try to pin crimes on innocent witnesses without any proof whatsoever. They are no better than bacteria or viruses. Jax, you mean like he's contagious? He's gonna give me Loritis? Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Well, that was a close one. Almost put me there at the scene of the crime when I wasn't even there. Yeah, I think I'm going to press him.
Hold it.
I wonder if it really was impossible for you to get to the inner sanctum. If you have something to say, just say it. Could there have been another way to get her there where it wouldn't attract attention? No, there isn't. Which means there is. Because the defense will share its theory with us. I didn't have a wild guess, let alone a theory though. Time to reach into my bag of laughs. To reach the inner sanctum without attracting any attention. I mean, this is absurd. But with that like that bunch of flags could be perfectly possible. Maybe you fell from the sky. A lot of things are a comedian now. I was wondering what crazy theory you would propose. Next, well, defense, let's hear it. Mr. Amos could have put the pressure down. Only know the weather was clear and there was no wind to speak of. Perfect weather for a skydiving, I say. Now that you've been back into a corner, your illusions grow even more delusional. The inner sanctum is only a tiny ledge upon the sheer cliffs over 2,000 meters tall. Unmisted and the skydiver would soon find themselves in the twilight realm. Yeah, I don't care how still the wind was, even I couldn't made it that jump. Wait, what's this building at the top of the secret mountain? The prison! That's Royal Penitentiary number 4. Ah, the one before Mambo. Alright, Princess Refe mentioned there was a prison up there. I didn't expect it to be literal prisoners, but do you get prison up there anyway? By helicopters, but only with authorization from the Minister of Justice. He's the one who can approve flights that pass over the inner sanctum. May I also add defense? No parachute of any equipment necessary for skydiving have been found. Isn't I fell down there by flapping my arms? I may be an incredible dude, but I'm not even capable of that. Well, please add that to extend in your testimony, Mr. Amos. It's not like I can fly through the air either.
Hold it.
You wouldn't need to flap your arms if you had some gear. As I have already stated, nothing of the sort was found in or around the scene of the crime. Should like to see some of that so-called yield you are talking about. I know, but was there really nothing like that in the inner sanctum? Yes! But if there was something that could have been used as a parachute, should have given that evidence another look. Yeah, what? Continue to claim the witness was at the inner sanctum. It said, claim shall remain but a claim without any supporting evidence, Mr. Wright. Yes, I realize that, Your Majesty. If I can find any inconsistencies, guess I can always try to elicit some more testimony. Yeah, I know, I'm trying to get back. You cannot fly through the air, but this sure looks like you could have fly through the air with. Thanks God! Mr. Amos is right. Couldn't have skydived down there without any gear. Well, now, finally come around, have ya? Now you see I couldn't possibly be in there at the inner sanctum. Right. If you didn't have any gear, that is. What on earth are you talking about? Whatever reaction is that giveaway that I'm on the right track. Take a look at this piece of evidence. Those are prayer flags, are they not? Yes, but they have been sewn together to create one big banner, a banner that could have also functioned like a parachute. Pulkunka. People of Kurain are so used to seeing prayer flags that the police didn't even think twice about these flags in their investigation. No, this cannot be. Witness landed on the inner sanctum by using these prayer flags as a parachute. Is that not right, Mr. Amos? There's no way out. I'm surrounded. Mr. Amos? With this dark jog of my memory. I guess I was there at the inner sanctum after all. Now people aren't saying shit now, huh? I want to hear you insult me now. Suspected there were 3 people there that night. You did it, Nick. You weren't wrong after all. Thanks. Amos, you were the one disguised as Lady Kira that night, weren't you? No way, no how. It's like this. Oh yeah. Was the leader at the inner sanctum by accident? Accident? Exactly. That thing's not a parachute, it's a homemade paraglider. Paraglider? You're telling me that you could fly using that thing, that patchwork mess of a material? May not look like much, but it's as sturdy as it can be. Rode like the wind like an eagle, going higher and higher from my earthly launching point. Then something happened and that forced me to land in the inner sanctum. Just happened to land there? You expect me to believe that? No, please call yourself Mr. Wright. However, the fact that the witness was at the inner sanctum is crucial testimony indeed. It certainly warrants for an explanation, therefore let's continue with more testimony. More testimony, yeah! Okay, I would really love to see like everything is like the first one, but changed a bit. Like the title at least. Why I was at the inner sanctum. That evening I was enjoying a trek through the night sky with my homemade paraglider. That's it. Second, please. Oh, Jesus! Oh, Holy Mother! Yeah, I can make that joke. That evening, I was enjoying a trek through the night sky with my homemade paraglider, but just as my when I was drawing it, something terrible happened. An accident forced me to make my medicine landing in the inner sanctum, so landed I banged my head, causing me to lose my memory. Do you see I ended up at the inner sanctum by purely accident? Pure accident, sorry. Purely by accident. Mr. Amos, you failed to mention any of this during your pre-trial questioning. I can't be helped, I'm just remembering it now. Continue such slips of testimony and you will be cast into the hell on hangnails. But you shall have hangnails roam and ripped out for 800 million years. Hangnails? I don't want to look that up. If any of you know what it is, please do tell. But don't look it up for me, that sounds horrible. Woo-ha! I think I'll pass on that. Looks like that card prosecutor sent me here of God. This is my chance to rip his case to shreds. Let's see. I want to know what accident happened. Especially with that reaction. When exactly was this accident you had? Good question. Now, what was it again? Wind? Oh yeah, it was the wind. Not just any wind, but a sudden gale force wind made me lose control. Wind was strong enough to make you lose control? Ah, like the music. You got that right. Okay then, please add that to your testimony. I'm going to save. But the weather forecast was around here. No. Yes, it is. There around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm clear weather today. The warmer temperature will make it for excellent prayer weather. Be warned, however, that will be seen a cold front moving off in overnight. I think this may be not it, but still. Okay, yeah, it is. Just because of that last sentence. I have to say in my country, Mr. Amos, well, I begets another. Oh? What's that supposed to mean? Means someone caught lying will lie again in an attempt to conceal their first lie. In other words, this current testimony is just a blatant lie you're telling to cover your tracks. What did you just say? You claim gale force winds have caused you to lose control. But then this newspaper has a weather report for the day of the murder. It says the air around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies today. Pokunka! Why, I do believe it does say that. One lie begets another. It makes sense, but is it really a saying back home? I never heard of it. Yeah, I kinda made that one up. For real? Your Majesty, the witness testimony contains another flaw, one that's even more fatal to his cause. More fatal, you say? The defense will explain himself at once. Mr. Amos claims he was flying around the inner sanctum with his paraglider, but it would have been impossible to get all the way up there without any wind. Well, yes, I believe you're right, but we know the witness was at the inner sanctum, so... Mr. Amos, how did you get there, and from where? I don't know, I don't remember. Having a wind, he would have flown up there from the bottom of the mountain. Process of elimination. Well, it's a starting point that makes any sense is... Your Majesty, I believe I have the answer to your question. To reach the inner sanctum, Mr. Amos must have launched himself from here. Yeah. There we go. Waha! Are you insane? That's where he came from? If he couldn't have come from below, then the other option is above. So you see? Anonymous came down from Royal Penitentiary number 4. From there, he couldn't easily reach the inner sanctum by parachute. And that means he might have also killed the High Priest. What? Mr. Amos, were you the third party at the inner sanctum? And the one behind the warning to halt the ride that the victim received? Was it you we saw in his final memory? Are you the real hunter, Lady Kira? Woohoo! Maybe there isn't one, Ollie. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, help me out here. You did it! You finally left him speechless. Oh, come on, Mr. Prosecutor, man! Quiet, you fool. You should have used this time to prepare yourself for what is to come. For fate far worse that hangnail hell awaits you now. Yay, he's on our side, kinda. Well, on defense, I must concede these points to you. Witness did, in fact, descend from the inner sanctum from Royal Penitentiary number 4. Huh? You didn't even put up a fight this time? Oh, that's fully generous of him. But if you are as perceptive as you seem, you surely already figured out the riddle. The riddle of Anonymous' true identity. Yeah, it's the guy who escaped prison. His true identity? I'm sure I quite know yet, but I guess I'll have to answer with or something. It would have seemed that a only one still in the dark here. Would be the difference. Care to enlighten me? Who is this man who've been calling Anonymous? The witness' true identity is... Yep. This guy! Is this really him? Only now do you realize the truth. Well, please do share with us your belated insight. What's wrong, Nick? Just say it, because this isn't going to be very helpful to our case. Really? Are you sure? Fortunately, I've got no other choice. That scruffy beard and shaggy mane completely threw me off. But it's all becoming clear now. The nighttime base jump from the... well, the guest base jump from the mountaintop prison. The precise landing of the inner sanctum using only a homemade parachute. Only a paratrooper, or more precisely a former paratrooper, could have put that off. This witness is Dad Sarbol, prison escapee, and the key member of Dark Rebel Group. What? Go! The smooth criminal. Witness is an escaped prisoner? Precisely. The police have been scouring every corner of the city to no avail. Meanwhile, here he was under narrow noses the entire time. What? Don't think anyone will see me through my clever disguise. But the witness charade is it's not all that has been shattered. It is. Is it, defense? Boy, do I hate this guy. Please recall the defense own words. First, it sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. Let us say, do not perform the rites. But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered. Who supposed sent that letter? A person with something to hide. A rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. He claimed that the real killer was the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira. Yeah, what's your point? One of the witness trade entity. A paratrooper, or more precisely a former paratrooper, could have pulled that off. This witness that's Arbol, prisoner escapee, the key member of the Dark Rebel Group. Okay, this is my assertion. The true killer is this guy, but, and this is a big but, the guy who, like, how do I say this? Is the, like, heart of my brain. But, to put it shortly, the High Priest was the true rebel hunter. And someone was going against him because they figured him out. It's hard. Like, my mind goes to thinking this guy is the victim is the true Lady Kira. That's for sure. That's something I feel is like kinda true. Oh no! He's a rebel and he's an escaped prisoner. He could have not possibly been Lady Kira, mortal enemy of the rebels. No! Now, perhaps the witness will enlighten us to the truth. After all, he has yet to refute any of this. What? Trying to take it up? You got me! I'm the razor sharp fangs of the divine dragons! You going to take that off already? That's our ball! When did you get your memory back? Oh, around the time you guys were talking about there being no wind. But you gotta give me credit for making up all that testimony off the top of my head. You prepared to tell us the truth now? Well, it's true that I parachuted down to the inner sanctum, but I banged my head on impact and ended up unconscious outside the ritual cushion. In short, all my eyewitness testimony was a big fat lie. Big fat lie? Oh, by the way, long time no see, Duty. Wait, do you know each other? Your Majesty, this filthy rebel belongs in a jail cell. Oh, yes, of course. Bailiff, seize him at once. Seems I really have organized the will of the dragon, Judy. I haven't. And no dogs of the Garang regime are going to lay a finger on me. Lay up! What? Deploy all of your resources. I want all units placed on high alert. I was trying to do a different inflection of voice. Escape prisoner. Escaped again. Police force has been placed on high alert. He will be caught before long. Escape prisoner who escaped the law again after giving a ton of false testimony. Talk about a troublemaker. You really put a number on all of us. What was the point of all that anyway? Well, I can't help it but feel the entire episode was an almost waste of time. Your Majesty. Perhaps it was not as great of a waste as you might believe. What makes you say that, Prosecutor Sarmahi? That Arbol dropped something as he made his escape from this house. Ooh! The scrap of paper looks awfully familiar. It appeared to be direct orders from Dark. From Dark? The rebel leader? Oh, but we only have a small corner of it. Wait, I remember now. Your Majesty, I have seen that scrap of paper before. You have? The scrap of paper that Arbol dropped is part of this. And this is? Found at the scene of the crime. Appears to be a copy of the order that Mr. Arbor dropped. If we put the two together, we should be able to read what the order says. It fits quite nicely. Oh my! And just what does it say, Mr. Wright? I don't speak Quranese. I can read Quranese. Oh, would you please? The ignorant lawyer has not bothered to learn our language. Very well, then. No, he was only here for a vacation. And I know a lot of English guys who don't know Spanish around these lands. I don't understand. Well, what does it say? Using the lamplight as alarm mark, he was to parachute down to the inner sanctum. Upon the right's completion, he was to don Lady Kira's robes and make his escape. What? That's how he was to escape from prison? So if we were to assume that Mr. Arbor was the one who killed the High Priest, maybe it was because Abbot Immi tried to thwart his escape plan? Go, lawyer. I'm afraid that is simply ludicrous. But I didn't say anything. Oh, did he read my mind? You know how your project mind works? Unfortunately for you, however, now that the rebel escape plan has been revealed, it's clear that Dutch Arbol is not the High Priest killer. How can you be so sure? If you would use that project brain of yours every once in a while, that terrible plan could have not worked without the help of a certain individual. What do you mean? I'm speaking of Abbot Immi, of course. That's Arbol simply donned Lady Kira's robes and made his escape alone. He would have been found not too conspicuous, but where he be the High Priest's sight... Wait, are you... A faithful assistant's brain in the plaza would have no cause to suspect anything. Is therefore thinkable that Dutch Arbol was the High Priest killer. Wait! Are you just admitting that the High Priest was helping a rebel? So then you're saying the High Priest was a... Oh, I can't bear to say it. I'm afraid it's so. You numbered among the rebels who threatened our kingdom. How could this be? High Priest, a rebel? There must be some kind of mistake. I need to go and move on. Accept the truth, it is the only way. And that goes double for you, defense. Cease your futile battle now. Why should I? Because I will now put the final nail in the coffin of the accused. Now that we have eliminated Dutch Arbol from our list of suspects, there's only one person that still remains, the accused Micah Fay. Hold it right there, aren't you forgetting something important? Something important? Please do explain, defense. We can't end this trial without looking into... Okay, if he's saying this... Wait, I just save. I'm going to save again because I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself one bit. That we don't have the murder weapon. There's the arrow. Not sure about the arrow, but it seems the likely one. Nope. Then the murder weapon it is. Because... What? Third party? Alright then. Talking about the true identity of the Lady Kira we saw in the Sense Vision. If that wasn't that horrible, then who was it? That matter has already been resolved. It has? What is he talking about? This I have maintained from the start. There was no third party in the Sense Vision. But there was another Lady Kira there besides Maya Fey. We all saw her. What the... I can't do my finger point. Hand signs. Huh. Ah! It's time to let it go and move on. Fate has already been sealed, much like your arm. This hardly seems fair. It's quite simple once you consider where the victim and the accused were at the time. The victim was near the spring with his back to the accused. What would he see ahead? Besides the water itself, there was nothing but the Warbot statue. Precisely. Lady Kira was in the sense the Warbot statue in her sacred robes. No way! Accused wanted to force Lady Kira to appear in her Sense Vision. The Sense Vision. Before she came from behind and stabbed the victim with the daggers in a reverse grip. But why would the accused want to do something like create a false Lady Kira? To show it to the victim as he was being slain. What reason would the accused have to fool the victim she was about to kill? Was not the victim she was trying to fool? But the Sense Vision. I need to clean my glasses. Because I'm losing my own Sense Vision. And I meant to say it wrong. Because I'm sans. No. I said it wrong. That's it. It was this very court itself. Come again? Suspicious would not find on the accused if it was looked as if another Lady Kira was there. And the defense was foolish enough to fall for it and claim it was a third party in disguise. Are you saying... I am. It was all a cleverly wicked scheme perpetrated by the accused. A scheme in which she sought to use the Sense Vision to mislead us. Aren't you being a little bit rough here? This can't be happening. I mean, let's think of the situation. It was holding a knife, that's for sure. And let's... Okay, obviously Maya has to know about the Sense Vision. But... What else I was going to say... Yeah. Wouldn't Maya be able to know there was some guy doing something weird? Or why would Maya do it in the first place? No face you're making, defense. Surprised you're taking this so hard. Because creating evidence... After all, did I not clearly state a while back that you were chasing after not but a dilute fantasy? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a diluted fantasy. Yeah, we just saw that. You're telling me he knew this from... He knew this is how it would turn out all the way then? And that he knew... And he was just waiting for the most effective moment to spring on me? You understand now? I have had you dancing on the palm of my hand this entire time. It can't be. It's an outrage. We took our royal priestess' sacred divination sense. Is it to commit this most foul and despicable murder? No, I did not think of the sort. Maya, it's not true. I didn't. Since this ugly display, your fate is sealed now that the facts have been exposed. Your Majesty, the time has come to convict this criminal who only seeks to tend this sacred hall. Indeed, it seems this trial is over. Does the defense wish to offer yet another counter-argument or something? The accused is not the killer. And here's why. Oh, what do? I do nothing. It would appear the defense has run out of arguments to make. For sure that the rebel was the killer. Any person with a possible motive, the one that Lady Kira has vanished. They have nothing to use against Professor Salmahi arguments. Damn it, I can't lose now, not like this. Very well then, I shall now render my verdict. But wait! Please wait, I'm begging you! It's time to let it go and move on. This trial needs to not be drawn any longer. Friend has failed to counter the charge of filed by the prosecution. According to the law, I invoke the defense completed the act against the defense. Now then, this court finds the accused, Maya Fey, the defense, Phoenix Wright, guilty. Yay, death! Done! Darkness! Imprisoning me! All that I see! Darkness! Your Majesty, please forgive interruption, but... No! What is the meaning of this? A body has been found. In the Plaza of Devotion, Your Majesty. What's this? A body? What happened now? We found it... We found this sticking out of the victim. Why, that's Lady's Kira Warbot dagger. Hey, Kira, she has returned from the trial right once more. Has come to defeat the rebels. Peace. Well, it would seem that the dagger that was once lost has been now found. I have one more thing to report, Professor Salmahi. Yes? This dagger... fingerprints of Maya Fey on it. What? What? Why would Maya prints be on it? I cannot believe it, yet it must be true. Something the matter, Prosecutor Salmahi? This trial has run its course. The accused's guilt has been firmly established. However, it seemed that the defense was right about one thing. I was? You claim that the murder at the Inner Sanctum had been carried out by the rebel hunter masquerading as Lady Kira. I did say something to that effect, but what of it? Prosecutor Salmahi, are you suggesting what I think you are? I believe the true identity of the rebel hunter who has been masquerading as Lady Kira is not only the accused, Miss Maya Fey. What? Me? What? Are you sure about that? Realize how shocking this must seem. Looking back, however, I now realize there was much that pointed to this fact. Rebel hunting Lady Kira was first sighted about 2 years ago. The accused first came to our kingdom 2 years ago as well. Why did it matches perfectly? But there is more. That warning letter was found in the High Priest's bedroom 3 days before the rite. Despite his house being locked up tight that night. How does that prove anything? It's difficult to believe an intruder could have found a way to enter such a secure house. However, the accused was known to come and go freely there, mainly to prepare for the purification rite. Amonimi was an important figure with a ton of duties, including training acolytes. He was really kind, even to a foreigner like me. He even invited me over to his house whenever I was between training sessions. Okay, by the way, my theory about him being Lady Kira, is probably now shit. The accused could have easily left the house unlocked for himself without anyone noticing. No! Maybe not that much. We assume that the accused was Lady Kira. That more established her motive for killing the priest. Yes, the victim was secretly an insurgent, but bent on helping that bold escape after all. Precisely, that made him a target of Lady Kira's wrath. After killing the High Priest, she then unleashed her divine justice on another rebel. So it seems the scope of this case has expanded. We now have 2 murders perpetrated by Miss Mayafei, masquerading as Lady Kira. Miss Fey is indeed a serial killer. It would affect the severity of her punishment. Out of this, I believe this second murder must be investigated before we can proceed. So is your majesty. Mayafei, I hereby charge you with this second murder. May you defiled soul feel the weight of your sins. The murder's charge of done for guilty verdict. Seems that if the defense will live to see one more day. Talk about hanging by a thread. Come tomorrow. Far more terrible punishment awaits you. I hereby suspend this proceeding so that the second murder may be investigated. Until the conclusion of this new investigation, this court is adjourned. Jesus Christ, this is the probably worst we have been on. To be continued. Yeah, basically. Save game. Jesus, that's close. Are you going to stop the recording now?